A couple weekends ago, there was a Fight Night 147 in London, and it was, I'd say, the best London card I've ever seen.
At least in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
Easily.
top to bottom, it was an entertaining card. I watched all the fights multiple
Yep,
times.
same.
Um,
Had to. Honestly, there was so much that went on that night.
yeah, it was a big night. Some of them went the distance. There was a bunch of decisions. It started out with Mike Grundy's debut, and all I'd ever heard about him is how great he is at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, same.
And he comes out and knocks out Nathaniel in the first round.
Which is also a young gun, but
I'm sorry, in round two.
Yeah, round two. But I'll tell you what, Grundy come out very nervous and hesitant in the beginning, which obviously it's his debut in the UFC. It's going to be a little overwhelming, but took some shots, got back into it, and honestly, to finish a guy with those big shots at the end like that shows guy's patient. He's got skills. This could definitely be a fun name to talk about more. I think that was a really fun opener to the card. So I think, like you said with London, that kind of started the night like, okay, we got to... People love seeing a knockout out the gate. It gets you jacked up. It lets
It is a
you
good
know,
way to start the night, that's for
It
sure.
lets you know that at any point someone could be put out, and at the same time someone could go 5 rounds and you think they win, and then this happens. So, yeah, great opening card there.
Yeah, and not only did he knock him out with those big shots at the end of the second, he had just got wobbled. I thought he was going to get knocked out. The other guy went in for the kill. Nad did.
Showed a hell of a chin.
Yeah, and then he recovered, backed up, landed some shots of his own, and finished the fight before the bell. It was a great fight to start. That was followed by Marchie Casey defeating Joe Duffy, and Marchie Casey had been on a rough streak after he got into the UFC. Joe Duffy's a pretty strong opponent.
He's a veteran also.
And Marchie Casey just outclassed him everywhere. He made
speed.
Duffy look slow.
The speed was a big factor.
Yeah, he slowed him down he smashed his legs with leg kicks.
Yeah.
And then Duffy was slow
Repeatedly.
and overmatched everywhere for the entire fight.
Well, and the thing about DeCasey is exactly what you said, is he came in and had a tough go and had a tough streak. And, Joe Duffy's been around, everyone says, oh, well, he submitted Conor. Okay, well, Conor was like 19 at the time, okay? So we're not considering that the greatest win of all time because he's had a rough go, too, in the UFC. But DeCasey definitely has stepped the game up. I think they said at one point, it was a 30-27 across the board. So, Duffy never put him in any danger. Once Duffy got cut, I noticed, it kind of took the gas just completely out of the tank for him. He was just not the same fighter. The leg kicks, too. He ate so many lower calf kicks. I don't care who you are. There's no way you're going to be the same fighter by that third round. So I think he was just kind of broke down, like you said.
So those were a couple fights in the prelims that were definitely worth seeing, very entertaining.
Yeah.
The pay-per-view started with Jack Marshman and John Phillips, two Welshmans. Which how badass is their flag, man?
So the flag's super sick.
Yeah, dude.
I forgot. When's the last time you heard somebody from Wales? No.
No.
You just don't talk about it. I thought it was cool that Phillips stated that if they won the fight, whoever won was proclaimed the King of Wales. I'm like, that's the first thing you go for. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun fight.
Yeah.
So Phillips knocked him
It was
down.
active.
In the first, very early in the first round, Phillips knocked him down.
I got so excited.
Didn't
there.
jump on him. Just
No,
sat
he stood
there, bowed, let him back up.
He's like, come on. No, and that was, everybody has been saying that was his time to pounce. He was able to take an advantage on a hurt guy, did not, just to make it flashy. It was super flashy until you realize the guy got up and beat you by decision. Now, my problem, like you always know, Jack Marshman missed weight. So, when you're winning like that, that is a half win. You beat the guy. It shouldn't move you. It shouldn't help you. John Phillips definitely needs to learn from that fight that if he would have put in 20, 30, maybe at the most 40 more punches in that fight, not even takedowns, just punches touching him up like he was in the beginning, he would have had this fight won easily.
Yeah, I disagree with the decision. It was a split decision given to Marshman. I would have definitely given it to Phillips.
But you have to look loud. He was not looking loud. He was not looking compared. I didn't look at the numbers. I bet both of them were within 10 punches of each other because once he let him up, he did not get any of the main shots in. Phillips.
I think he did well, and I think he was the aggressor for the entire fight. I think Marshman looked like he was in great shape. He was running the entire fight.
Because he was fresh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was surprised by the decision. And then plus you throw in the fact that Marshman missed weight.
Yeah.
I don't think it's one to throw in your cap, but it's better than a loss.
It's
I guess.
Win to win. So no, I get you.
That fight was followed by Claudio Silva and Danny Roberts, and this was my favorite fight of the night, actually.
There was definitely right off the feel of this fight was just you were excited because you knew these guys were going to come at it.
Yeah, so it started out, the first round, I thought Claudio Silva was just better at everything. He was better on the ground, or he was better standing up. He lit him up. He took him down on the ground, worked different submissions on him for about 3 minutes.
All over.
And then right before the end of the round, Danny Roberts scrambled him out and landed a few good shots. The second round, Roberts lit him up early, put Silva down, stumbled him bad.
He wasn't moving, like he was just holding on.
But even after that, he was able to get a hold of him.
Yeah.
He was trying to put in submission attempts, but at every time Roberts would get out, land a couple big shots.
He got out of positions that most people not only couldn't get out of, would be tapped in very quickly. He rode out a lot of tap situations and still got out. And everybody, Paul Felder said it on the commentary. He's like, I can't believe he just got out of that. He did it twice
against Claudio Silva, who's fantastic.
That's
jiu-jitsu.
Very high level jiu-jitsu. Yes.
So yeah, and that just kept going on. So it went on to the third round. Again, Roberts knocks him down to the mat, and then Silva gets a hold of him, throws some submissions on. Roberts gets on tops, hits him. Silva grabs hold of his arm. Roberts can't get him off. Goes to pick him up and slam him.
Slammed him on his neck, not even on his head. Like slammed and cranked it, and he did not let go.
So yeah, he did not let go. Roberts yells when he goes down. It looks like he's getting out of the hold, and the ref comes in and stops the fight with a verbal tap.
My thing is with a verbal tap like that, you have to say tap 8-10 times in a row because that pressure, that amount of adrenaline, you know your arm's about to snap, you're going to go tap, 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 tap. He said there wasn't even the word tap. He just grunted.
Yeah, if you scream in pain, that's a verbal tap.
And I get that. That's those situations you don't ever want to see because we get it. It's all about the fighter's security and safety, but at the same time, it's tough when a guy got out of 2 unbelievable submission attempts that night and then put it on the guy, and then when he loses is by the same practice.
Yeah, this would have been... I don't know how the judges would have scored this. I think you have to give the first round to Silva. I think you have to give the second round to Roberts. The third round was going wherever it was going.
It could have went split.
It was so back and forth with grappling attempts and chokes and then ground and pound.
Well, and think about this on Devil's Advocate. All of a sudden, let's say Danny Roberts gets out again, but all of a sudden Silva doesn't go for any more takedowns. He throws some leg kicks, takes him down very lightly, just gets a takedown to get that last minute point, and then guess what? We're not even talking about a bad stoppage. But it sucks because we keep hearing more and more of these controversial stoppages.
Yeah, and this one's not like some of the other ones where you're stopping a choke early.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, if you think someone's screaming in pain and their arm's ripped in half, then you go in and stop it. But it wasn't one that's happening.
It wasn't a case of that. Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see this fight again. I hope I would if this was a fight on every card I ever watched, it'd be great. I had such a good time watching it.
This jumped up the prelim card really quick.
Oh no, that was a pay-per-view card fight.
Oh, that's right. We moved from out of it. Yep. Yeah.
And then after that, we saw Nathaniel Wood, and he looked good.
Man, I tell you what, when he come out and Brad Pickett, who used to be in the UFC, was slapping him in the face because he's his trainer, I was like, all right, cool, this is good. Jose I like a lot because he's very lean and tall. He's fast on leg kicks, everything else.
Fantastic mustache.
That mustache, and it's black as night.
Yeah, dude.
My thing on that fight that I was so impressed, did you notice right when Nathaniel Wood come in, he probably, gave 4 inches on Jose? Probably. Maybe 3?
Yeah, maybe 3.
Okay, but my point is, he walked Jose down the whole night until he got his sub.
He was confident.
He did not give a fuck if he got punched in the face, he got clipped, and then guess what? Jose throws a leg kick. He throws 2. He gets on, gets an underhook.
As soon as he took his back, it was over.
As soon as he took his back, it was over. But the thing about it is it shows the speed of Wood, fun to fucking watch, another awesome guy to have in that division that we could talk about, in a month
he looks
or two.
promising, yeah.
He could get another unreal... Because when these guys don't take a lot of damage like him, he could fight in 2 months, and we could be talking about him fighting a top 10 guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I love that fight, man.
Actually, I thought I read that maybe... Peter Yan had called him out.
Well,
and that would be a fun matchup. Yeah.
I mean, that's as good as you're going to get right now. And again, two guys that are moving, trying to get up
just
there.
getting wins and wins and wins. Yeah, both of them look really good. I would love to see that matchup.
And Peter Yan fights very similar to Nathan Wood on a lot of aspects. So to have two guys like that are just basically going to trade hands a lot, that's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think Quinonez just realized he was in for more than he bargained for.
I think it was too much.
Yep.
Nice.
After that fight, Dominick Reyes and Vokan, and this is another one. I disagree with the decision.
I did too.
I thought Vokan won every single round. I would have scored him every single round, and I don't know how he lost that fight.
So I looked up the pattern and the stats of everything, and some were over and some were under. The problem is Reyes threw a bunch and did not land his better accuracy. Ozdemir
landed more, I guess.
And he just happened to be more accurate. The problem is when you have Ozdemir with a takedown and Reyes doesn't, and it goes to Reyes.
And Vokan lit up Reyes. Reyes never hurt Vokan. You can look at his face afterwards.
No.
Reyes got hit with a lot more power shots.
I honestly think what we've talked about before is Reyes was looking nonstop active, even when he was getting clipped by Vokan, that it looked like he was being the
Vokan was walking him down.
I know. That's what I'm saying. He threw so many back and forth punches that didn't do anything that he looked like he was more active. Or someone just did not pay attention that there was a takedown by Ozdemir that didn't clinch the deal.
Yeah, I don't know. You hear him talk about aggression and octagon control.
How'd that work
and
out
all
for
of
Ben
this.
Rothwell?
Yeah,
Ben Rothwell never took his back foot more than 2 steps to go against him.
No, I would agree with that. I think Ben Rothwell won one round. He won it by a lot.
Well, no, he 100% won one round, but
and he did win the other two.
I get that. The thing is that aggressor can go either side really quick.
Yeah.
You can look aggressive or you can actually be aggressive. It could be a different outcome. Because, like you said, Ozdemir walked him down and he fucking lost.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out how he could have lost. I was looking at everything they say they look at when they're determining points for the round, and I couldn't give Reyes a single
And what
round.
did we talk about last podcast is how big of a win-lose that was
Reyes
for both
kicked him in
guys.
the nuts?
Yeah.
But
you know what I'm saying is now Ozdemir with that many losses in a row, that's a huge chalkboard to erase and start from scratch. And then you also
it's not bad, though. Like he was saying going into this fight, Reyes' last fighter, his most previous fight, I believe, was Ovens.
Yeah, Vokan Ozdemir, yeah. Or, I'm sorry, Ovens Peru.
It was Ovens. So that was Volkan's first fight in the UFC. And he's only fought people better than that. Yeah. So having a few losses like that, he has lost 3 since he had that title fight. Like I just said, I don't think he lost this fight.
No. So I think
people know that Volkan's got crazy power, and I think he's going to stay in that top 10. I think that, man. So they've matched him up against Ilir Latifi. So that's going to be on the Sweden card.
So I was going to ask you, did you think that fell very well in line?
I think it works.
Yeah.
If Volkan's fine coming back that quick, it makes sense. It's going to be in Sweden. That's close to home.
I would have personally liked the Corey Anderson because we've been talking a lot about Corey Anderson, how you forget about him. And he's been sitting on the sideline. He's been asking for fights. He's not getting them. Give him a fight against someone like that.
Dominick Reyes.
Well,
that's the next fight for Dominick Reyes, I think.
Corey Anderson?
I think Reyes showed that he is not good enough to fight John Jones yet. He did not look good in this fight.
Well,
if you want to keep moving him up, give him Corey Anderson. I think that's the winner of that is in good shape to be the next title contender.
I was going to get actually more greedy. I was going to have him fight Santos.
Yeah, I'm still surprised they haven't done anything with Santos and
only for marketability,
Jones.
And I know I always talk about that, is I think if he fights Santos, let's say we don't get a Santos-Jones going as quick.
Yeah, if we're not doing a Jones fight, then I'm on board. I want to see him fight.
That is instantly the next fight to make, especially with Smith coming off a loss, and then obviously Santos is coming up with a win, but you want to be able to have a situation where you got to let's see what happens with Gustafsson and Smith. Where they end up. Because Gustafsson could lose and then Anthony's back up in the game. Well, obviously Santos is not going to fight Anthony right away.
No.
Because Anthony's probably going to be either injured or have some time off.
Yeah, because Santos just knocked him out.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I think, honestly, Reyes goes and fights Santos right now in the next 4 months.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
It blows my mind we haven't heard anything new about John Jones. He's been so vocal that he wants to fight 5 times in 2019.
John Jones also could be doing a lot behind the scene right now because think of the fights he's had, and they line him up. He could have a fight in April, or not in April, let's say May. And then he could have another fight in August, September.
He could
almost be crazier, and he could do a December card.
Yeah, he does. He's always on his December cards.
He loves December cards. So I'm saying that can 100% happen. But Jesus, let's get someone fighting Jones.
Yeah,
let's do this while we're all young here.
That's how I felt. I really thought they were going to announce Thiago Santos. Everyone seemed to be on board except for maybe Jones, I guess. But I thought they were going to line up the Santos fight with Jones, and then that was going to be done. And then I do think that Dominick Reyes and Corey Anderson is the fight to make for both of them.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense for both of them. Like I said, Reyes is not good enough to fight the top of the division yet.
No.
Corey Anderson wants to be the top of the division, and I think this one puts him there. So I think that's the fight to make. And
you know what's crazy about Corey Anderson, though? If he wouldn't have taken that head kick from Oven St. Preux, completely different career path the last 2 years. I'm telling you, Corey Anderson would be top 5 every fucking time we talk.
I think he's that good.
No, he is that good. That fucking head kick made a lot of people lose confidence in him because he got laid out.
What do you think of the co-main event? Leon Edwards and Gunnar Nelson.
You know, I like Gunnar a lot just because I've seen him absolutely go wrestling to the T, ground and pound. He's very patient. He's got a unique style. He doesn't even look like a UFC fighter, really, and he does a lot of fun things. Leon Edwards is on a tear, man. I even talked about it. Cowboy fight, he went the decision with him. He fucked Cowboy up, but he also said, hey, look, I'm not available to be at the highest level right now. I need to keep growing and growing. Then, obviously, that Till Masvidal card got announced in his home country. He's pissed about it. He's going in hot. I think in that division with him, he's kind of a guy that's waited back and bid his time. I think it is Leon's time to give him a chance to go in there and prove a point. But I think with Gunnar could have had that fight.
You think so?
I think if Gunnar would have played a game, I'm not saying that he did. I'm saying if he would have played a more ground game to get in nasty, not get in control, because Leon took a lot of advantage of that ground game, and then got up and landed a lot of hands on him. I think if he would have got down there and played really dirty ground game, punches over, elbows over, I think he could have wore Leon down to where Leon doesn't get to use his speed and hands. Didn't happen. I think that's why as Leon was able to tee Gunnar up, control him, take him down, stuff a lot of takedowns.
Yeah, I thought he looked better at everything. I thought he was better on the feet. I thought he was better grappling, which I was not expecting.
It's unfortunate that just to be honest, he's a lot faster than Gunnar. So he's got a hell of an advantage.
He put that baseball on his face. You see that?
And Gunnar took it, but you knew right away that affected the rest of the fight. Because that mouse was fucking bad.
Oh my gosh, that's like one of the biggest hematomas I've ever seen.
But the thing about it is, that's how tough Gunnar is. And think if something like that didn't happen and he got a hold of Leon early, he could have busted Leon up. He just didn't get the chance because Leon's defense was that good.
Potentially. Watching it, I was surprised this was a split decision. I don't know how you give Gunnar Nelson 2 of those rounds. I thought Leon Edwards was better everywhere.
Yeah.
And then after the fight, they didn't move Leon Edwards up in the rankings. He's still number 10. Which I don't believe. I don't understand. I thought he looked so good. Everyone loves Gunnar Nelson. He shut him down in every way. And
there's something about Leon that people are not latching onto, and I don't know if it's because it's he's a European black guy and people think it sounds weird to see a black guy talk like that, or no. And I'm being serious because I don't know why you wouldn't like this guy. He puts on good shows. Maybe here's a reason: he's in the welterweight division and he's not knocking everybody out.
Yeah, because everyone else is. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think it's one of those situations that he wants somebody and they want somebody in there that's knocking everybody the fuck out. And I think with a situation like Leon, with having 4 of your last 5 wins by decision, it's tough for people to remember you unless you were that Barboza with a flying knee, or all of a sudden
three of those decision wins are Donald Cerrone, Brian Barberina, and Vicente Luque. And all they do is throw punches.
So apparently Leon can survive and he can also be durable. But my point about it is, I think Leon should honestly be up around that 5'6" range.
I'm surprised he's not at least like 6, 7, 8 after that win.
We're not involved in everything here. We're obviously not on the matchmaking. Yeah. If we were, we'd probably make a lot more money. But I think Leon has to get a better fight. Who do you think?
There's just so many good people in the welterweight.
Let me ask you, what do you honestly think? Who do you think Leon fights next?
So he really wants the Jorge Masvidal fight. Masvidal doesn't seem to want it. Yeah, that's crazy. I think that 3-piece and a soda.
3-piece and a soda, baby. Yeah, he lit him up.
I think that Santiago Ponzinibbio is also struggling to find a fight.
So I thought about that because not only in ranking wise, but obviously timing wise, Ponzinibbio is healthy. He's been waiting. Leon is trying to get up the ranks. Pons isn't much higher than him, but that's a big guy to go through.
Yeah, they're both.
And he fucked up Gunnar.
Big deals.
So it's kind of a situation we both beat Gunnar. We're about the same type of style right now because, Ponzinibbio fought Mike Perry.
They're both on 7-fight win streaks.
Ponzinibbio. So I think, honestly, the Masvidal sounds great. It's not ready. In the meantime, go Ponzinibbio. And then if you beat Ponzinibbio, then absolutely you go to a Masvidal. Because I can guarantee you right now, after that fight with Darren Till, Masvidal is going to take a good 3 months off.
That's the other thing is, I don't know how to understand how Masvidal jumped up to a top 5 ranking. He was ranked behind.
I was going to talk to you about that. I think the biggest thing with that is some of the wins that he had early in his career, not his career currently right now, were some big battles. When you're losing against Stephen Thompson on a decision and Damian Maia, both on decisions, you didn't get put out.
Yeah,
those aren't bad losses. Those are not bad losses. Before that, you knocked out Donald Cerrone. Before that, you knocked out Jake Ellenberger. Jake Ellenberger was older, but still wasn't that old in 2016. Then you end up coming in here and knocking out Darren Till, who a lot of us a year and a half ago were talking about was going to be the next fucking big thing, changing the world in the weight division. So Masvidal basically came in and said, I can either lose this and go down to like 15, or I can win this and stay where I'm at because you said, okay, we've seen what you've done in the past, either prove it or not. Now, Masvidal's next fight, which we're going to talk about in a minute, really does depend on what Leon does. Because if Leon doesn't fight him out the gate and he fights somebody else, Masvidal will wait. Because after that encounter, he'll wait around to bust somebody's ass.
So let's talk about this fight. Masvidal and Till.
Okay.
Till was a big favorite. Till's the bigger guy. I had Till winning.
Same.
I thought Till was going to knock him out. I knew he was going to take a lot. I thought if he was going to knock him out, it had to be in the championship rounds. I mean, you don't finish Jorge Masvidal. It doesn't happen. But I was thinking 4th round maybe Till gets to him.
Reverse triangle choke.
Yeah, but not a knockout. I mean, it's
I know. Go ahead.
And then for the first 2 rounds, well, I guess so. Funny as hell, Masvidal comes out and kicks him in the nuts.
And then opening punch from Till,
drops him, takes him down. In the second round, something similar happened. Till accidentally eye poked him.
Yes.
And right after that, Masvidal clipped Till really well. But through 2 rounds, it looked like Till was getting the better of him everywhere.
He was just pouring it.
Yeah, he was getting the bigger shots. Maybe not more shots, but definitely way more damage. Way more damage.
Power in the shot.
Yeah, he'd hit 1 or 2 big ones, and Masvidal would throw him a 3-piece combo.
No soda at this point.
Yeah, no soda.
No soda.
The soda came later.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, he hits him with it, and it's done.
I think I told you this the other night when this fight was actually happening live. I honestly thought there was about 35 seconds before that where Till kind of got pushed back, clipped, and kind of not bounced his head, but just had that hard upper shoulder right on the mat and then took a quick punch and then took 3 more after that. I think he wasn't hurt. I think he was just a little bit off because he was like, all right, I'm taking some, pop shots. Let's chill out. And then before he could reset, Masvidal came in with that left, and it was over.
Yeah, over.
He was out twice in the air, knocked him out, clipped him, and then hit him again, and then as on the ground landed another. Till's fucking out curled toes.
Yeah. The other thing about that fight is that crowd was crazy. It was one of the craziest crowds I think I've ever heard on in a MMA
You
fight.
could hear the echo.
Yeah, it was a nuts crowd. It was a great environment. Like I said, this is my favorite card that I've ever seen at in a London card.
Oh yeah.
And
nobody's finished a fight, and especially when you have legacy like Masvidal, where it's like, hey, I've been gone 2 years. Everybody knows who I am, though. And by the way, I sat down at a table with Darren Till, and I said, let's just talk peaceful. And Darren Till is like, I'll fucking fight anybody. I don't care. It doesn't matter who's in front of me. And these guys are sitting there at the table just saying, I love how you fight. I love how you fight. I know we're going to scrap. Let's go do it. No trash talk. They go. That same fight happened from the words that they said, and they come out and did that. Masvidal just waited his time, and something that Dan Hardy said on there that made sense that I'd forgot about. He goes, some of Masvidal's best shots and wins are on counters. Mm-hmm. He is being pressured or taken down, and he drops a shot. If you look at the video, Till had just pressured him.
Oh yeah, he made a miss on the left and then hit him with his own left.
And instantly came back, and he moved. And that's the thing. Masvidal is not a guy that you're going to clip once and take down. The opening punch from Till that counted was right to his face, and Masvidal in the interview goes, I don't even remember seeing the punch. Because I just remember falling down.
Oh yeah, he was...
like, and he got up and got so reset from that, and that goes to show again.
Yeah, he said. I think he said he was knocked out a little.
That's exactly why he has stayed where he is in the rankings.
He didn't stay where he is. He jumped from like 12.
No, but think of the guys in that division. And by the way,
I know 2 of them are Thompson and Maia, who he just beat, and now he's ranked ahead of.
Well, the problem is, who else has been around as long as any of those top 3 guys in that division? Nobody. It's all these newcomers coming up, or guys moving out of divisions.
Tyron's been around. Colby's new.
Well, obviously, I'm talking below that. I'm talking 8, 10, 12.
Oh,
There's
Robbie.
a lot of guys. Yeah, well, Robbie was out for a year and a half, so I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it is a lot of new guys.
I'm not saying it's deserving, but I'm also saying, hey, if you won 15 NASCAR races in a row, and then all of a sudden you get Dale Earnhardted, you know, you would hope you'd come back to life and be able to still drive where you used to go. All right, let's just say that. You don't need to all of a sudden lose your place because you're dead. That's what happened to Masvidal. He took some time off. Yeah. I'm back. And guess what? If he lost that fight against Till, he could be down in that 15.
Oh, yeah, he would have been.
So, you know, at the end of the day, just like we said, ton of potential to lose and gain, and Jesus, Masvidal gained.
Yeah, I just don't think he's calling for a title fight next.
No, I agree.
I don't understand it.
It's just like Israel Adesanya said. He said, I don't need this fight for the title, even though I could. I want one more fight, and then he got Gastelum.
Yeah.
He does not want to do stuff. That Anderson fight was the best thing ever. It was a legacy fight. It was an absolute proving point fight, and by the way, it didn't cost him anything, because even if he would have lost to Anderson, Anderson's not fighting for a belt.
No.
You have to take the fights that are given to you to make a statement, and beating Anderson Silva in a decision and not being on a fucking gurney is a pretty big decision and a huge risk-reward, honestly, in my opinion.
So who does Masvidal get next? He wins. He got in the middle of his interview backstage, he sees Leon Edwards.
Yeah.
Leon, I don't know what he says. Anyways, Masvidal walks up to him with his hands behind his backs and then throws him a 3-piece in a soda right to the face.
Finally, the soda
cuts Leon Edwards.
Oh, busted him all up.
His cheeks all cut up.
Hey, best sucker punch in the game, as he
says. It must be. So, and then he gets pissed off that people are talking about him and Leon Edwards fighting. What do you think's going to happen when you do that?
You know,
I love that fight. I hope that. If I could pick a fight, that's the one.
First fight I wrote down, I said Leon Edwards has absolutely the biggest fight of his life, and Masvidal and him both are chipping at each other. Masvidal's coming back into fighting, going, I don't want any more trash talking. I just want to show it on the canvas. Fuck, do it both here with Leon. Whoop his ass, give him 5-piece and a soda. And then end up fucking being the next guy that says, come on at me, I'm back up in contention, I'm back around.
I think that's a great fight to make.
Fuck. And both of them are going to be very healthy in 3 months. Get a May card going. It's only going to be April next month. Get a late May, get an early June card, and then be done with it. Because by that time, you got a lot more movement, and the fucking Usman's going to be getting itchy to defend his belt. I'm not saying that it's going to be like a September fight, maybe in October, November, but Usman's going to have to defend before the end of the year. It's what did he just win? Early March?
Yeah.
Now, how many times have we seen people like Tyron Wood that go a year, almost a little over a year without fighting? Maybe Usman takes that.
Yeah, I think he'll fight at the end of the year probably.
I think Usman also realizes that with his body, he can't smash in 3 fights a year as a champ. You can't do that shit. He's got to
Unless he's
take
that
one, maybe. Yeah, but the thing is, man, the mind can be strong. The body can give up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I agree with the Leon Edwards.
I think Leon Edwards is a great fight to make.
Brainer.
Ben Askren had called out the winner of that fight, and I think this is a good fight for Ben Askren. What's too early?
It's too early for Ben to be doing those type of fights.
To fight a Masvidal? They're ranked the damn same. Ben Askren is 19-0. He's older than Masvidal, isn't he?
He's old.
Oh, same age.
He's definitely
same age.
Same age. I think with someone like Funky, you got to get somebody in there. I don't even want to see anybody, below Ponzinibbio, but I think maybe if Ponzinibbio is around, let him take a fight. But the thing is, no one's going to latch onto it. Ponzinibbio is a huge dude. He's tatted. He's going to throw hands. Askren just kind of did that with Robbie, but Robbie's not that big. I think you got to have Askren prove himself again because...
Oh my God, more of a proof than Robbie Lawler?
No, I'm not saying that. I think with that fucking fight there was both. Robbie was out and also it was called too early. I think that was one punch away from Robbie saying, you never even get my neck. Let's go do this again with somebody else that does the same thing. Let's give a proving point.
Like Jorge Masvidal?
Yeah, but I get that, but I don't think Jorge is going to have any fucking interest in
No, he's not. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So Ben Askren was calling us out.
There.
I think because Jorge Masvidal right now has options, there's no way he takes a Ben Askren fight. Yeah. No one wants to fight Ben Askren because it's not going to be a fun fight. No, it's not going to be fun.
Miserable.
Yeah, it's miserable. He's not going to strike with you. He's going to get a hold of you and he's going to strangle you and he's going to smother you and you're not going to have a good time. No one wants that fight. No. So I think that Masvidal, what I think makes perfect sense, but someone else who has options right now would maybe be Pettis after coming up to lightweight. That is going to be a fight I think both of them are going to think is fun. I think both of them would get behind that fight.
Yeah.
It's going, with Pettis just beating Stephen Thompson,
wow.
It makes sense for that.
That's a huge marketable card too.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy men.
Everyone's going to want to see that fight.
Yeah.
Both of them are, like I said, they both have options right now.
And if that went on a pay-per-view, that's even more. So
it's going to depend on a lot of things to line up or a lot of other options to fall off, but I think that's a fantastic fight too. I think the Leon Edwards fight is the one that makes the most sense, but if you're just trying to get a good fight that I think both fighters are going to get behind and everyone's going to want to see it, Pettis and Masvidal makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, nobody's saying I'm going to skip on that pay-per-view unless you're crazy, so nice. I like that a lot.
What's Till do after he gets knocked out?
I think he unfortunately goes very far back in line, and I think Till, honestly, I had some ideas for him, but the thing is the way this division is moving, I
think middleweight's the way to go.
I think
you take some time off and you go to middleweight.
I wanted to get to that. I said, if you stay in and you want to know how durable you are and how good you are, I actually wanted to get a little greedy with it. Set them up middle of June. Robbie Lawler, Darren Till.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie Lawler, Darren Till, you have two guys that are very similar to Masvidal and Darren Till. Just want to throw, break you down, hurt you, take you to a point to where I'm going to put you down and lay shots out, just like he tried to do to Askren. You do a fight like that, two things happen. Darren Till loses, people feel bad. They're like, it was Robbie Lawler, but they also go, Darren Till, you were ripping up the ranks, and then you've just been getting starched by the guys that you needed to make it through. It's obviously time to move back. Doesn't mean he goes anywhere. Robbie Lawler wins that fight. Okay, Askren fight happened. Let's do something different. Okay, let me come up the ranks. Hey, Leon Edwards, let's go and bang a little bit. Or, whoever's available. Ponzinibbio, fucking any of them. Get him to where he is actively fighting because Robbie is healthy. He looks the best he's looked in a long time. And like I just said, 2 more punches I'll give you. On fucking Ben Askren.
No, I really think that the UFC is gonna push hard and hard and hard to get that fight, that rematch.
It's a fight that people want to see, but a lot of people don't, and the problem is because they know it's gonna go different this time.
I don't think people know that.
So many people got behind Ben Askren's ass and said, "Whoop, hope he doesn't fuck up." Okay, how many people are going, Ben Askren's going to go in there and just rip his ass, and then when you see Ben Askren with one arm pinned up, getting just beat the dog shit out of on the mat. There's a lot of people that would have happened. They would go, well, guess I was wrong about Ben. He's too old or he's too late.
Or it's not the UFC.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, this makes sense to rematch it, but also, too, it's timing-wise.
Yeah, I just don't even want to see it.
I think it's boring. I think it's going to be a boring fight.
I don't know why they'd want to make it again. I don't know why.
I think if you get Robbie Lawler in a situation where he can bang, not worried about being neck cranked or bulldog choked.
Right, so then don't fight Ben Askren.
No, but this goes back to it is the having somebody like Ben is beneficial because you go to show how this game can advance so high at the wrestling level. But as a person that wants to watch it, that's not like you and me, it's not real fucking entertaining seeing Ben Askren put someone in a neck crank on a bulldog choke.
If they're the best in the world, it is.
It is. He's not fighting for a belt. He's also not even fighting for a contender spot. He was fighting to say, I need to get in the UFC and people get behind me, and he fucking did it. I'll give him that.
He came in as top contender.
Shit.
He came in as top
contender.
All right,
well, I like Ben Askren a lot. I'm going to tell you what, next fight, Ben Askren's getting knocked the fuck out. I'll put it down now.
I'll take it.
All right. So whenever they make that fight, I will tell you Ben Askren will be knocked the fuck out.
I'll take it.
All right. Next up.
Yeah. So, anyways, I speaking of Till going up the rankings like you were saying,
sure.
and now it's time to step back. I think it means it's time to step up because I think when you're on a tear like that and you know he's been saying for a while now that he can't stay at welterweight, he's gonna have to move up to middleweight. When you're on a tear and you're winning, you keep doing it.
Yeah. Make a
you
change.
lose 2 in a row like this.
Make a change.
Now is the time.
That's
this is the time to move up, and I don't think there's any looking back.
And there's nothing to lose.
And I think you take some time off, and so I think that
maybe get 6 months, get
healed
up.
I think the right move for him is to plan on moving up to middleweight, see where that division goes, and then step in like Rockhold's doing now, like Kevin Lee's doing now. I think that's probably the move for him. This past weekend.